enough, Shashank. What is this? How can you make such beautiful music? I mean, it makes a home in my heart, and then I want to listen to it again and again. I mean, it's really, really beautiful. That's an angry compliment. Jam Room, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we get a band into the studio, and my inner pseudo hugs himself in joy because now the studio looks like a proper music studio, I tell you, yeah. And there's live music, and there's fun, and there's Gaurav Bulani, and there's Shashank. And Gaurav, of course, I have the honor of calling a friend. I've known him for a very, very long time. What was that first band that you came in? It was before Parikrama, wasn't it?
Crimson with other
Crimson! Yes, a very long time ago. It was a very robust live scene in Delhi, and he was bringing out band upon band, I tell you. There's also Level 9, wasn't there?
Of course.
Aditi
was a part of
Aditi was a part of that as well, and if I remember correctly, they used to do progressive sounds, weren't they?
Oh yeah, progressive. They done a lot of Steely Dan also, back in the day.
Yes,
Not many bands were covering
absolutely.
that
Jazz rock, no less. So it was a fantastic scene, and out of that came Gaurav Bulani. Then, of course, he's playing bass for Parikrama right now as a day job.
So
and then, of course, there's creative. There's always extra creative juice to sort of.
Yes, always room for that.
And there was Inner Lab, if I remember correctly, and now Jamnapaar, which is what we're going to be talking about.
Yes.
So much to talk about. How do we do it? But it's insane. Does your day have 24 hours, or can you squeeze out a little more?
Actually, I just got 25th added. I'm just joking. No, I think it was the COVID effect, as we were discussing. There was no dearth of time. So yeah, Shashank and I have been working in Inner Lab as well. So we were actually writing an Inner Lab album, which turned into Jamnapaar because the sound was totally different, and that's how this happened.
That cheeky name, I tell you. I have to say, that's a really cheeky name to choose for the band. How did that happen?
There was no thought put into it because we were actually working Jamnapaar. He was, in Kaushambi, which is also Jamnapaar. I was in Noida.
Okay.
Most of the composition happened Jamnapaar, so we were like, okay, Jamnapaar. So yeah.
He was just sitting what do we just call it?
Yeah, exactly.
He said Jamnapaar,
of
course.
Exactly.
Why not? But now that the music is out there, and we are so obsessed with labels in these wonderful times. What are you? Do you have like a very fancy pseudo label for your music? I mean, do you call it like ambient sound or something like that?
Yeah, we call it Trance Yamuna. No, I'm just
Choo choo! Oh yeah, man.
No, we haven't even gone there yet. We just want to work on the music.
So and the music that they've worked on is absolutely incredible. I mean, to have a band that makes such mature compositions, that gives respect to every aspect, the arrangement, each instrument is given the respect that it deserves. The drops, the odd time signatures, they're just absolutely incredible, and I can keep talking about it, but the proof, as they say in English, of the pudding is in the eating. So what are you gonna play for us first?
Oh, we're gonna perform a song that Shashank wrote. It's called Reconnecting. This song was actually written before the album was even put together, so yes.
Yeah, so we're going to be putting the video out as well. So when you see that, you'll see this really beautiful analog synth that Gaurav has, and the flute looks really nice. I'm just making you jealous because I'm in the studio and you're not. This one's called Reconnecting. Gaurav, I've interviewed you multiple times, and it's absolutely incredible that every time you have a new band. It's a pretty prolific career, and you seem to be paying the bills quite comfortably with it for a while, isn't it?
Luckily, yes, I would say so. I don't know how to respond to that,
Yeah,
but yes.
I
I mean, yeah, I've only done music for,
Uh-huh.
as long as I've been working, so yes.
Also, you're performing with arguably one of the oldest and one of the most successful, doggedly successful bands in the country, Parikrama. And having to take over from Chintan Kalra must have been pretty big shoes to
No,
fill.
not
Was
at
it?
all.
No?
Of course. I mean, till date.
Yeah.
First few concerts were unnerving to another level for sure. I mean, still is like how do you fill shoes like that? You don't,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So you try your best, you try to do your own thing, but of course, like getting to play with a band like this is a big honor. I mean, Shashank would agree because he's obviously been doing this for
For sure.
like 5-6 years now.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, in fact, that's where we met as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But listen, I mean, this is a question I have to pose to both of you guys. It's a legacy, and it's a legacy that has both the pros and the cons. I mean, people
Yeah.
have panned it like anything. You know,
course.
Parikrama is a band that evokes emotions in the community.
Of
So,
course.
was that ever a little intimidating? I mean, did you think twice, or what was the feeling like?
When I first got the call, I mean, I was jumping. I was like, yes, of course, because obviously, as you said, it's a legacy, right? Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, the band asks you to come and play with them, you do anything to do that, right? So yeah, I mean,
But then you have to be in that setup, right? I mean, how creative? How does your creativity? Does it get shackled? Is it left free? What's the feeling like there?
actually, there is luckily because in bigger bands I've heard, and that was a big concern for sure. But with a band like this, I mean, we've all been in the composition session. In fact, Subir sir is one of those guys that he actually wants. It's like that old school thing. Everybody needs to be there. We all need to sit and compose together. Obviously, an idea can originate from whoever.
Sure.
But the composition has I mean, it's not like Subir sir is going to sit and write a bass part
Sure,
for me, or
of
Nitin will
course.
come up with something.
Sure.
Of course, they're free to suggest, and they do and come up with the most brilliant ideas as well. But the point is, like, they won't be telling you what needs to be played, and then you can just come and perform it.
For sure.
So, which is a pretty open space.
It's
there.
also that whole come and perform bit is something that is a fascinating question in my head, which is the fact that post-COVID, it's music has become truly internalized. Everyone's making music in their living rooms, and everyone's
sure,
consuming music in their living rooms. And only now have people actually begun to come out and go to concerts, which will be a thing that we'll talk about. But
Yeah.
right now there is music to be heard, because I can't wait for the next one, because I truly love the concept of the song. What are you going to play for us? I know, but let people know.
No one knows?
Yes, that's true. No one knows.
Is there a story behind it?
There is just like being obsessed with life and where it's headed and what is the meaning. I mean, trying to be very pseudo, but
Absolutely.
having
No.
coffee in the no, I'm just joking. But yeah, just common thoughts that all of us have, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is the meaning of this existence? And yeah, just having late night conversations with my wife, So that's her voice on the recording that you'll hear.
Yeah, so that's Liz's voice, and this is Jamnapaar with No One Knows.